Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. We are with Farmer Monica here, who is into chicken layers. As you can see behind here, they are all layers. How many are there?
Around 180.
180. All the way from. Okay, yeah, maybe you can just introduce yourself so that people can get to know you.
My name is Monica Kangwa, founder of Metamorphosis Fresh Foods Limited Company. I'm into layers production in Piga.
Wow, that's really great. Yeah, so a number of us do keep broilers, and I've seen that very few people do keep layers. Maybe, I don't know, why did you opt to keep layers instead of broilers?
Okay, so our main aim objective as a company is to produce most of the protein-based products, or rather foods. So when we started with piggery, and then when we looked around, especially this area, there's no one who is doing that. So that's why we thought that maybe if we go into layers, we're going to sell, and then we're going to cut the competition between, because if you've noticed that where the market is, it's very far. So we looked at it in such a way that what if we start keeping layers and people start buying their eggs from here, meaning we're going to cut all this community from going to the market. Then we also looked at the strategy whereby if we notice that our competitors who are the sellers within the shops, the prices are high, we reduce a bit lower. So we've noticed that we only started selling these eggs last week, and the response is amazing.
Oh, that's pretty good. So yeah, how complicated is it to manage these chickens?
It's not complicated, especially the first few weeks from day old, because we bought these as day old chicks. They were chicks. So from day old up to the third week, the procedures are the same with broiler management. You have to follow all the routines like the vaccinations of Gumboro and Newcastle. So the routines are the same. There's nothing difficult about it. You just have to manage them, especially when they're day old. They need heat, like just the same as broilers. They need fire, or maybe the lamps. Like for here, we use braziers, and we have to be around all the time because we don't have electricity. We rely on solar energy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And last time I went to learn something from my friend's broiler chicken. At first he used to keep the chicken layers. So now he talked about having a higher capital when starting. Maybe you can just clarify to me, how expensive is it to start this business?
It is expensive because we know to say that layers are very expensive, especially if you're buying them at point of lay. I think the approximate price can be 195 per one. So meaning if you want to buy, for example, 200, you can't manage because you have to have the capital to purchase the 200 beds. Then you have to start buying feeds. So I think from our experience, it's been okay or better to buy them as day old. I know if you're buying them as day old, again, there is the feeding process for them to reach this at this point. It takes 6 months for them to start laying. So if you are making your own feed, again, it becomes lighter as long as the components or ingredients are available. So layers, yeah, they say it's expensive, but once they start laying, the profit comes back very fast, provided you have the market.
Well, I'm sure the market for eggs is quite a lot. People are baking every day, and people are eating eggs now and then. Yeah, so the market should be there. So basically, I've seen people buying trays. You opted to use a different method.
I know what to say. People use trays, but then if you're in business, you have to cut costs in order for you to make profit. So if you follow all the routines, well, meanwhile, the other methods you can use, you find that your profit will be less. Because if you notice in here, this is grass on the ground, but people use sawdust. Grass we don't buy, we just go, we cut, and we come and put down. So we've opted to use deep litter system on the floor so that the droppings dry faster and to avoid the contraction of diseases.
Wow. And it looks quite nice and dry inside there.
It is.
So how many are there?
They're around 180.
180. Wow. Okay. So meaning at max, you definitely need to have 180 eggs. Yeah. So maybe something just people have to learn also. How best would you enhance the production of eggs for them to be laying in a day? What do you need to do?
So for them to lay every day, they need to eat, meaning you need to give them feed every day. For example, you miss today, the eggs you're going to pick tomorrow are going to be less. Because what helps them lay is the protein content in the feed. So for them to lay every day, you have to make sure they eat every day. They don't have to miss.
Okay. Wow, that's a good lesson. Basically, what would you advise people who are scared of getting into business of layers out there? Because a number of people are keeping broiler chickens.
I think as a country, for us to go forward or for us to fight poverty in Zambia, we should venture into farming because most of the foods we eat come from farmers. So I would encourage each and everyone to venture into layer production so that at least the price of eggs shouldn't be very high, but we should make profits at the end of the day.
Yeah, apparently, the tray of eggs is around 70 plus somewhere there, which it has become quite expensive. So yeah, I think I've learned something. I think it's important to be patient as a farmer. You buy chicks and then you let them grow. There are people out there who know how to formulate feed. For example, herself, they make their own feed out here, cutting the cost of buying feed on the market, and of course buying them at a very small size as chicks also reduce the cost. So meaning yeah, their farming is kind of productive because they've cut back a couple of costs. So I think from the way you've explained to me, I think it's not really complicated keeping layers. Most of us, we're just scared that it's kind of costly and all those things, but the way you've explained and the way you've managed them, there are no trays, there are no what. I think, yeah, I can also manage to keep them. Any last words that you've had to people out there?
I just want to appreciate the time you've spared to come and have a talk with me. I know this will help me in one way or another. And I'd like to encourage every young person out there to at least do something. Don't just stay back and say you can't do anything. Because a dormant mind is the devil's workshop.
All right, thank you very much for those encouraging words. So yeah, I'll put a number down there if you just want to get knowledge from Monica. You can of course contact her and then learn how to make your own feed for your broiler chickens and of course for your layers, and then also for the piggery, because she also knows how to make pig feed. Thank you very much for sparing this wonderful time to share your ideas with me and to people out there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.